Hey, Coach, I'm going to put you on the spot right now, all right? What qualities make a good teammate?
Being a good talker, being positive on the court, and keeping your teammates going throughout the match.
What makes a good teammate is one you can rely on. One that I don't have to second guess he's gonna be there, he's gonna do his job. I know he's gonna do his job.
A good quality to have on any team you play in, any sport, would definitely be a role player. So if you're asked to step in and play your role and do your role, and if someone goes down, then you should be willing to step in and take that role over and play it with a good attitude.
I think what makes a good teammate is a person who has a high emotional intelligence, someone who is able to give each teammate what they need. Some teammates need to be fired up a little bit, some teams just need to be encouraged, some teammates need to just be left alone, but I think it's important to have a teammate that can tell the difference and know what their teammates need to help them be the best they can be.
Best teammates for me are when you mess up bad and they're like, you know what, don't even worry about it. Because at that point, it's already over and you can't do anything about it. So that's my opinion.
I think what makes a good teammate is someone who makes the people around them better. Someone who gives effort all the time. Hitters that have a really big hitting window that they can hit any kind of set, even when you're setting from your butt on the floor.
Good teammate knows their role on the team, lets other people play their role, and is positive attitude all the time. What qualities do you have to make you a good teammate? Why are you a good teammate on the court?
I try to keep everybody up. I try to have fun. Most important thing is to have fun, right?
I think I just bring a high energy to the court. I try to stay positive, keep everybody else positive, and make sure no one is flat. Because once you go flat, you're done.
I'm a good drinking buddy.
Try to know my role, and certainly if I had to add anything to that, is try not to make any mistakes. I try to be as few mistakes as possible.
I just feel like I try to keep things in perspective. Like, if you make one bad pass or one bad set, like that's going to happen. Volleyball's a game of errors, so I try to help our teammates keep things in perspective. You can't be perfect at anything, and if you are, you're probably playing for the Olympic team. But I think I do a good job of trying to help teammates move on from a mistake, because you're going to make mistakes, and just not letting that one mistake become 10.
I like to think that when they make a good play, I'm there cheering for them, and when they make a bad play or when they make a mistake, I'm there picking them up and saying, next play, it's all right, it's all good, we got the next point. I like to say that's what I bring to the table, that irrational hype guy. Yeah, that's my role,
Hype them up, hype them up.
And you turn her into your quarterback when the main quarterback doesn't work out, or the first one that you recruited.
You don't see this very often in collegiate athletics, but the Penn State seniors have an opportunity to win the national championship every year of their career, and Blair Brown, the senior, strikes first.
And Carpenter did her job.
So some characteristics that I believe make a good teammate. I think it can be a lot of different things. But I really truly believe that a good teammate has good communication, hands down. But with that kind of goes good EQ, emotional intelligence of, all different people are on a team. So how you talk to one person is not necessarily how you talk to another person. There's a ton of different personalities, and trying to manage that and also bring it all together is a really difficult thing. So the communication and EQ part kind of go hand in hand. I also think what makes a good teammate is really just being a good person. Like, the best teammates that I've ever had were also some of the best human beings that I ever met. So that goes along with being kind and, you know, having some empathy and really just being relatable and just, like I said, just being a good person. I think those are some of the best qualities in a good teammate. So what makes me a good teammate? I'm not sure I would have said that 10 years ago, that I was a very good teammate, or 15 years ago for that matter. Not because I was like super selfish or bad-mouthing people. I was too competitive for my own good. So I'm in the high school state finals for Virginia, and I'm doing a one-person serve receive because I had a libero crying and I couldn't handle her, and I just wanted to win. And with team sports, especially with volleyball, you can't win with just one person. I've tried. Where I kind of learned how to be a good teammate was humbling experience going to college. You know, I went in, I committed before Penn State won any national championships, but when I got there, they'd already won 2 back-to-back and lost, 4 All-Americans, and I was coming in as a freshman, and I just knew, hands down, I was going to do whatever my coach needed me to do. Whatever the team needed, that's what I was going to do. So it kind of varied, and my entire college experience came in as a starter. I won a national championship as a starter. I lost 4 positions in one season, and then as a senior captain, I sat the bench. I came in and served sometimes, but it wasn't what you would think a senior captain would be doing. So that entire experience has helped me be a decent teammate today. I can relate to pretty much everybody with different seniority levels and how to talk to them, and I think a really great way of talking to people is by storytelling, and I've got plenty of those. So what I've learned and how I've grown into a good teammate is you have to be empathetic. Like, people are going through things that you don't know about. Ask. My God, like, it's definitely a communication thing. Like, girls love talking off the court, but oh my gosh, like, sometimes on the court it's a little crazy. Just ask. It's not that difficult. And my dad being a high school coach, sometimes I guess it can be difficult, but it has all of my experience from playing pro and having to really look out for myself, because you're maybe the only American on the team and no one speaks your language, and it's a little crazy. It has led me to grow into a leader and a teammate that I am today.
A good friend of mine, Ken Liu, asked, what does it take to be a good teammate? I think effective communication on and off the court, selflessness, pass the ball for your teammates. When you're playing, make a play for someone else instead of yourself, because then it'll take a lot of pressure off for yourself when you're playing in the game. Positivity. So probably one of the hardest things, I think, is remain positive no matter what, good or bad. Someone who's dedicated to always put a smile on your face. What I think makes me a good teammate, the way how I play. Like, I try to lead by example. I try to pass for my teammates, always better the ball. Especially when I'm on the court, I try to give it 120%, maximum effort.
Hey Ken, how are you doing, brother? It's been a long time. I am glad that you asked me to do this because it's not something I am particularly good at, so I need all the practice I can get. But I've been watching the videos and I think it's awesome what you're doing. Very cool. I'm a fan, and so I hope they keep going strong, and whatever I can do to help, I am happy to oblige. So yeah, the two questions you asked me about were, what does it take to be a good teammate? And then what were some things that I did or I worked on or experiences I had that kind of showcased that. So I think it's really interesting you asked me because I was a terrible teammate my first couple of years of college. I had a really good coach my second year, and he pulled me aside actually after our first season together, and we watched some film of my interactions with my teammates after plays and the body language that I had with them and the body language they had with me. And it was really eye-opening for me to go through that experience and learn that with him, because from that day, that summer afterwards, that next season, my main focus was to be the best teammate that I could be, and it made a big impact on my career. Still didn't get very good at it until maybe my senior year, but it was definitely something I was mindful of and tried to work on. But yeah, I think a great teammate is obviously someone that makes everyone around them better at their game. And so I think you got to make people around you comfortable, and you got to make people around you confident, and you got to make people around you believe in themselves and believe in you. And so that's really hard to do in the moment, but I think that if you're the type of leader that has a high level of emotional intelligence and understands, has some type of empathy towards other people, and you can kind of understand what they're going through and try and take a couple steps in their shoes, it definitely helps you figure that out, how to be that type of leader and teammate that I think all of us want to be. I got a lot better at that after college, actually, once I started playing professionally, and I had someone really be a great example of that for me when I was training with the national team. And this guy's name is Riley Salmon. He was undersized outside hitter on the 2008 Olympic gold team, and it was really cool getting to train in the same gym with him, because it was just really inspiring to see how he helped everyone and made everyone around him better. And so that meant a lot to me, working with him and learning from him. And I tried to take that overseas when I was playing, and then definitely I think it culminated in some adult nationals that I played in, and I like to think that I was always the most fun and most inspiring teammate on those teams that I played with at adult nationals. And then the best teammate I ever had on the beach was actually Mark Burek. It's kind of funny, we came up playing together on the beach, and we had such a long history and rapport playing indoors together for many, many years. That the first few seasons on the AVP together, we were not the best teammates, but we took a break and played with different partners, and then came back and played another season or two together at the end of my career. And it was just a level of comfort and a level of, oh, I know what you're doing, I get it, that we understood that the other person was working their tail off, trying their best. And we had a lot of faith in one another that we were going to pull through and do what we needed to do to be successful. Yeah, so I think those are some examples that I had as far as being a good teammate. And it's something that in the work environment that I'm in now and that most people are in, you're always in a team environment. And so what can you do in your current work environment? That's something that I'm always trying to figure out and do better. And I think right now the challenge is just communication. It's never been a strong suit of mine, but it's kind of one of those things that when you're working on a staff and you got 4 or 5 people that are trying to help a team accomplish some great things, you all have to really be on the same page. And so that's kind of, I think, something that is, it goes across all boundaries. If you're working on a team and you guys can communicate and you guys can trust each other and you guys can lead by working really, really, really hard on a common goal, then everybody's going to be in the same boat and everybody's going to be pushing just as hard. And those I think splintering things that hurt teams is when people don't trust or don't believe in one another or don't put in the work to build up enough capital so that everyone else around them is believing in them. So those are some things that I've kind of taken away, and I try and be mindful of every day that we're working in that same team environment. Yeah, so that's all I got for you.
Hey guys, I'm Ken. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video inspired you guys to think a little bit more about what kind of teammate you want to be on and off the court. So if you could do me a favor, if you haven't done so already, hit like, hit subscribe, leave a comment, let me know your thoughts. Thanks again, and I'll see you guys next time.